Welcome, welcome, welcome. Man, not being here for 2 weeks seems like such a long time to not be here. So anyway, thank you very much for everyone who is here in person today and for everyone who is joining us online. Oh my gosh, what a joy it is to be here in this space with every single beautiful soul that is here and this incredible music that we get to partake in, that we get to listen to, that we get to receive as this incredible blessing and gift every single Wednesday. Thank you. Thank you. So here at the Victoria Truth Center, we basically come together to do one thing and one thing only. And that is to remember that there's only one thing going on. And so whether you call it universe, whether you call it spirit, energy, divine flow, creativity, God, whether you call it love, what we believe and what we teach is that that is the only thing that is going on. So that means that if love is the only thing going on, that each and every one of us is love. And not just a little bit, not just sometimes, but all the love there is, all of that incredible, amazing, infinite power, creativity, this beautiful dynamic flow that is the very essence, the very foundation, the very inception of everyone and everything. That's who we are. And so we're here today and all the other times we come together at VTC to remember that, to celebrate that, to honor that, to remind ourselves, to remind each other that we are so much bigger than anything we could ever think, believe, or feel, than anything that we could ever experience. We are pure, essential love expressing every moment of every day. So how does that sound to everyone here tonight? Nodding heads, clapping, great. All right, so let us remember where we are celebrating and acknowledging that we are this incredible, amazing, essential love, that we are on the unceded lands of the Lekwungen-speaking peoples, specifically the Songhees and the Esquimalt nations. And if we look to them, to what it is that they value and cherish and they honor, learning and continuing to live in a finely balanced relationship with the seasons, the lands, the tides, and the seasons of life that have sustained them, what could the world look like? What could it feel like if we all did that more intentionally? If we all focus on the relationships between ourselves, between us and the land, this incredible, amazing opportunity every single moment to just remember who we all are, remember what everything is. What could it be like? Well, that's what we get to do every moment, every day. We get to decide, we get to focus on that, right? So very grateful to be able to do that right here, right now, to be able to work and breathe and live and play on these beautiful stewarded lands. So, moving right along to some meditative music. And for those people who are here for the first time, it's like I forget to say this almost every time, we're going to move into an opening prayer right after this. And so in order to keep the magic spell that is in play after the music, I invite you to hold your applause until after the prayer. If you'd like to do this to express some appreciation to the band, please feel free to do so. dancing, that is always playing, that is always playing out, expressing in, through, and as everyone and everything. And so as we allow ourselves to be stirred by this beautiful music, as we allow our souls and that divine playfulness that is in each and every one of us be activated, I'm so grateful to know that that playfulness, that aliveness, that vitality that is eternal and never ending, that this is exactly who and what we are. And because this is the only thing that is going on, I am so grateful to know that our time together is grounded and founded in that same dynamism, that same vibrancy, that same glimmer, shimmer, and shine, that sparkle that we just heard. And so I'm grateful to know that as each moment passes, there is that in each individual that continues to grow, that continues to blossom, that continues to radiate from within, as this community continues to live life lovingly together. So for everything that is on its way, for everything that is yet to come, I simply say thank you for it all, knowing that right here, right now, everyone and everything is pure love expressing. I'm grateful, releasing, allowing, receiving, and so it is. Thank you, gentlemen. If you would like to clap for the band, please do so. What was that?
Oh, sing my your brother
By? Oh, okay, all right. Man, it's so neat how just classical music, comes into play every now and then, but doesn't sound anything like it might otherwise, right? Thank you for another beautiful arrangement, Pablo. Okay, so today is the last Wednesday of the month, which means it's our last opportunity, officially, to talk about our theme for the month, which is perspective. And we also have an affirmation to go with to kind of get us into, the mindset. As I remember the infinite nature of my being, that the seeming limitations of life come into perspective. Sorry, I was distracted. I wasn't sure what was happening right here. Shifting perspective. Are you going to use that mic? Is that what's going on? Okay, got it. All right, so for people who haven't been here before, this is the opportunity in our time together where we get to have, we get to share. What's perspective looking like for you right now? Is this affirmation stirring something in you? Is it landing somewhere in your body? So I invite anyone who would like to share. It's good. Anyone who would like to share, the mic is at the ready. What is it that is coming up for you regarding perspective? Who would like to be the first one to offer something? I'm going to pull in the mic. There. Okay. That's long. All right, perspective. Last Wednesday. Got a whole month to consider it. Oh, there we go.
Okay, is this working? Okay. So I'm just thinking about my perspective when I'm in a really anxious state and how I see the world versus a really expansive state, like listening to that beautiful arrangement that just happened. And wanting to live more from that expansive state, and how can I bring that into moments when I feel anxious? Is what comes to mind.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad you asked. Listen to the talk that's coming up. But what I can offer, not just because there is stuff I am speaking to that, is what happens so often, and here I'm speaking from a positive intelligence paradigm / perspective, is that we get distracted because we pull ourselves out of our bodies, we pull ourselves out of the present moment. We're floating around with what's going on around us instead of being anchored and grounded in the present. And one amazing way to come back to the present moment is to focus intentionally on one sense or our breath. And so when we are focusing on our breath, when we are focusing on our sense of touch, just by doing this, rubbing your fingertips together and really tuning into what am I taking in through this sense of touch, closing your eyes even, and just focusing on what am I feeling? Can I rub my fingers together so gently that I can tune into my fingerprints, the different ridges, the temperatures, the textures, Just tuning into the sense of touch. That's it. And just by doing that one little exercise, you take yourself out of the back part of the brain, which is where anxiety, overwhelm, fear, stress is activated, and you move into the middle prefrontal cortex, which brings you into the present moment. And when you're in the present moment, you literally cannot be in the other part of your brain. And when you're in the present moment, it means that you are more focused, you are more centered, you are more calm, and then you can make better decisions. You see life more clearly, more expansively, if you will. So that's just one way, but the underlying thing there is practice, practice, practice. And that's one of the things that I'm going to talk about in my talk today. So thank you for that, Caitlin. Perspective. Anyone else want to share something? Okay. Yeah, sure.
What I'm noticing over the course of the month is just how, if you're reading something, you're reading something on the internet or in a newspaper, you're like, oh, okay, I see their subject position, I see their perspective, I recognize that this is, my critical media literacy skills come into play. When I'm reading someone else, but I don't really have those for myself. So I don't really notice how much my perspective can shift, but how much I buy into like a story, a narrative of what I think is possible, or how my day might go. And so I've been enjoying just watching. If I try to like suspend disbelief for a moment, I notice other things that wouldn't normally fit in with my worldview, my perspective. So I noticed that over the course of the month that I've been paying attention to it, those things have started to shift just a little bit where I'm like, oh, it's kind of like a science fiction movie where you're like, oh, that cat just walked by upside down. Just sort of like, oh, these things actually work out when I don't freak out or get stuck in those other perspectives. So just how much, I guess what I realize is how much perspective exists and how much it can, be blinders or look from other perspectives and get a whole new vantage point on it.
And so how interesting is it now that you're more aware of that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fascinating.
Right?
Yeah, just, a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. All right.
I just have one more.
Sure, Barb. Yep.
It just becomes very apparent to me right now that perspective is something that has been highly underrated all my whole life.
Underrated?
Perspective has been highly underrated.
Okay.
That is what occurs to me. Because it is such a useful and beneficial state of mind to use it as but it's just occurring to me that it's such an important device that we have to shift our perspective.
Yep.
And it's not easy when you get locked in, as you were saying, to that brain.
Yep.
It's a real effort to shift into, but it's such a wonderful remedy in so many cases when you are able to shift it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. And and I appreciate what you said there, Barb, about how hard it can feel to, sort of feel like you're trapped in a certain perspective and to not be able to get out of it. And that's why things like mindfulness, this is all it is. This is a form of mindfulness. To get out of this part of the brain and into this part of the brain so you can shift perspective. And in positive intelligence, it is the difference between being in your judge or saboteur mode or being in your sage mode. So it's stuff that I've talked about a little bit now and then, in more on Sunday talks this month than on Wednesdays. But yeah, once we become more aware and once we know what it is that we want, then we can use tools like mindfulness, this little positive intelligence tool or other things, to shift from this part of the brain to this part of the brain, allowing ourselves to experience life differently. So, yeah, thank you, everybody. Great. See, everyone was sitting there silently, and then these gems and nuggets came up. Okay, so tomorrow, new month, new theme, new music, everything. So anyway, but I invite you to continue just looking at perspective and seeing how you can intentionally and actively shift your perspective so that you can create a better, more expansive life experience for yourself. All right, feature tune, guys.
There it is.
good, it's gracious. So, I don't know if I'll tell you what this tune is or if you just start, just catch on. Well, I better tell it later. So, when we get to talk to last year about the theme, so we sat down and we thought of songs that would work for this idea of perspective, and one that came to me was Michael Jackson's The Man in the Mirror. So what's associated with a very particular time, a very particular idea about, like, you know, our global responsibility and recognizing that, you can also use it as an opportunity to consider your, you know, responsibility for yourself with that idea of how am I taking ownership or responsibility for my perspective or the perspective that I create. So we hope you enjoy it, we hope you sing along.
come on, sit down and have a break. Okay, so I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. Isn't this what we're kind of talking about in new thought language pretty much all the time? That we create our reality, that we are always choosing every single moment of every day how we're creating our life experience, how we're experiencing the world around us, that the world around us is actually a reflection of who and what we are and what's going on inside of us. That's what this song is about. And even though, yes, it was more of a global call to action into how to sort of, help the world at large, what it really made me think of was, there's a quote in the Bible, and I can't remember exactly, where it is or who it's from, about getting your own house in order before you lead. And how important it is to prioritize what it is that is important before you go out and start fixing other people and other things and causes and all that kind of stuff. That first we need to look within, that we need to align ourselves with what is true and beautiful and whole, going back to the quote from the meditation earlier today. And so this made me think of this story that I shared on the last Sunday that we were here, when I was at the gym a couple of weeks ago working out with my trainer, and he always asks me, how's the body feeling today? And so I let him know, thinking we're going to do some upper body stuff, and he says, okay, we're going to start with squats today. And I'm like, oh, not a big squats fan. And so he goes, okay, pick up the 35-pound weight. And I'm like, what? 35 pounds? Are you? And because the last time, 2 months ago, when I started doing, lift actually weights with the squats, it was 20 pounds. So it's not 25 that he was asking me to lift, not 30, but 35. That's a huge jump in my mind. And I mentioned on Sunday when I was telling the story that it was such a neat experience to be there with Gareth, my trainer, who's telling me, you have it in you, you can do it, you're stronger than you think. The words coming out of my mouth that I'm hearing with my head, are you crazy, are you kidding, do you know what happened the last time, do you remember how I couldn't walk for 4 days? And then there's this observer, this awareness going, do you believe you're God or don't you? Do you believe you're the infinite expansive universe expressing or don't you? Do you believe, do you know that you have it in you to pick up that 35-pound weight and do those squats, or don't you? So I'm like, okay. So I picked it up, and then I put it down because it was really heavy. And I'm like, I'm just going to do a squat first just to get the form right. So I do it, and he's like, great, pick up the weight. So I picked it up, and I'm like, breathing, aligning, getting everything in order, focused, centered, in the now moment. And then I did it. He was right. I'm right. I have it in me. And then I did another one. By the fourth one, he's like, okay, you know what, pick up the 30-pound one. This one's too heavy for you right now. So finished the rest of the 3 sets with the 30-pound weight, which was still huge because 2 months ago it was 20 pounds and I could not walk properly for 4 days. So then, I'm thinking about what is it that happens to the body when we weight train? Our muscles tear, okay? It sounds kind of gross and really super violent and whatever, but they rip. They tear apart. They tear themselves out of their comfort zone, out of their current state. And then if we allow them the time to heal, by the time they heal a few days later, they're bigger, they're stronger. And if we continue in that vein, then we actually build lean muscle mass, right? That's the whole point of weight training. So I went back, that was on the Thursday, I think. Went back on the Monday, and the whole weekend, I'm walking around, my legs are hurting. My glutes aren't as bad as I thought they would be, but my legs are just okay, but not as bad as they were 2 months before. And by Monday, I'm like, no pain. And so that's, when I go back and Garrett's like, how's the body? And I tell him, and he goes, great, it's the perfect day to do squats again. I'm like, okay, if he wasn't gonna ask me, I was gonna say, I'm doing them again. Picked up the 35-pound weight, 3 sets, no problem. Now, the last 3 of that third set were heavy, but I still managed to have good form, and I managed to do it, and it was so exciting for me. And then all the other stuff that I'm doing, because I only do half-hour sessions with him, so there isn't a lot of stuff that we do. But since that, every single day, whatever I'm doing, there's at least one of two exercises, if not two exercises, where I'm setting a new record with the weight that I'm pulling or holding or lifting or whatever sort of thing. And it's as if there was this shift within me that had taken place in the last few weeks. And it's not something that I sort of consciously went, okay, I'm now going to really believe that I can lift this 35-pound weight. It has to do with this ongoing practice that I have had for the last over 8 years, where almost every day there is something that I am doing to expand my consciousness, to shift my perspective, to remember that I am not my thoughts, I am not my beliefs, I am not my feelings, I am not the experiences that I've had. All of that is stuff, all of that is information that can help me to make a decision in the present moment, but ultimately, it's not who and what I am. Who and what I am is that strength, is that resilience, is that energy, is that creativity, is that dynamism, is that infinite vitality that is ever present in everyone and everything. And there's something in me that shifted a couple of weeks ago when that 35-pound weight, sort of revealed itself, and it just feels so exciting to be on this upswing of just lifting heavier stuff and really feeling my muscles and knowing that the same thing that I do with my physical body, it's the same thing that we do with up-leveling consciousness. So at the gym, I don't know how many of you guys work out, but there are a few catchphrases that might, come around that you might hear, whatever. One of them is engage your core, right? Because if you don't engage your core, this midsection here, then there's no strength, okay? And there's so much stuff that you cannot do properly if you do not engage your core. And so when I hear engage your core, yes, I'm thinking this, but I'm also thinking, what is within me? What is the essence, the essential core of my being? That's what I want to engage as often as I possibly can. And so it is so important for me to make sure that I have daily practices that strengthen that awareness of making a shift, especially when I am spiraling, when I am freaking out, when I'm overwhelmed, when anxiety is driving the bus. I need to know that I have tools, that I have things that I can do to take me out of that frame of mind, get me into this middle prefrontal cortex, and calm and grounded and anchored in the present moment again. So you see the correlation between physical fitness and mental or spiritual fitness. Now the other one, the other saying, which I think is so hilarious, is it's a trap. And what that means is when you're straining your neck muscles, when you're supposed to be focusing on something else and using something else. And it's really easy to do, especially when you're doing upper body stuff or lifting heavy stuff. And so I just think it's hilarious. It's a trap. And so I'm going to tell you, I don't know what I did, either yesterday in hot yoga or the day before when I was at the gym, but it's a trap is what is happening right now for me because I focused on the wrong muscles. I wasn't paying attention. And so as a result, I'm experiencing a stiffness and a pain and a tightness in this area of my body. And yet, I can also see this as information. I can get bogged down in this is so uncomfortable, oh my God, it hurts, oh my God, I can't sit this way. And I gotta tell you, on the car ride over, the bumpy roads, I was contorting myself to kind of stabilize myself. But all day I have been trying to focus on not getting sucked into the pain, but just kind of going, okay, this is what's happening. I don't have to buy into it. I don't have to get involved. This is just what's happening, and it has come to pass. And so I know, even now, honestly, I wasn't able to do this a few hours ago, and I know that it has to do with being here. I know that it has to do with the meditation that we did. I know it has to do with the music that is offered. I know that it has to do with the consciousness and awareness that is in this room, that lingers in this space after every single event we have here. Because that's what this community is about. We're about living life lovingly. We're about remembering who we are. We're about doing whatever it is that we need to do to show up as the love that we are, no matter what. And so my talk title today is Engage your mental muscle. So here in the picture, there's this young woman who's kind of like, I don't know, thinking whatever. But we know that there is that in her that is so much stronger than maybe she could ever even imagine. And that's the same thing for each and every one of us. There is that in each and every one of us that is so powerful, that is so magnificent, that is so dynamic, that is so vital, that is so essential, that is so creative. There is nothing that can stop it. Because it is pure energy. Energy is always on the move. It is never stagnant. And when we allow ourselves to shift our attention to that, rather than what is going on around us, then that's when life starts to change. And that's when we actually transform. And so back to the song, when he's looking in the mirror and he's thinking, okay, I got to start with the man in the mirror and I got to make a change. It's not so much that you're changing what's in the mirror, because what's in the mirror is a reflection of what's going on here. And what's going on here is an expression of that infinite energetic flow that just is. And so if not for things, if not for people, if not for nature, if not for thoughts, if not for feelings, we wouldn't be able to experience this allness of being that we truly are. And so when we look in the mirror, what are we seeing? And if we're seeing something that we don't like, it's not that reflection that we need to change. We need to change what's being reflected. And we can do that like that if we shift our perspective and remember who we are. And stop thinking we are the man in the mirror. And remember that we are just what is projecting. Or not just, that we are what is projecting. That we are that infinite, expansive universe in action every moment of every day. And so the correlation I want to make here between physical fitness and mental fitness, that it is an ongoing practice, right? We can't expect to go to the gym, work out for 1 hour, and be done for life, right? We can't go to the gym, work out for 8 hours, and be set for life. If we want to be physically fit, if we want to grow physical muscle, if we want to get stronger, then we need to actually challenge ourselves, and we need to do it on a regular basis. And so this kind of goes back to the quote at the beginning in the meditation, where Ernest Holmes says, if one would take time once a day at least, but he's talking about daily, to let go of all that is not true and focus on what we truly are, who we truly are, oh my God, we would feel so different. And so when it comes to mental fitness or spiritual fitness, same thing. Ongoing practice. Every single day we need to be doing stuff to challenge us, to remind us, to stretch and pull us out of the level of consciousness that we're at right now, so that we can move into the unknown, so that we can experience stuff that we have not yet experienced, so that we can actually be who we can become, knowing that there's always more. Because energy just keeps flowing, creativity is always in that play, nothing ever stops. Even when we try and stop it, even when we try and put a kink in the hose, or a block or whatever sort of thing, it's always going, and we're going to be reminded that there's this something in us that wants to express, and it's going to show up in ways that maybe we don't appreciate, like getting sick, or getting tired, or getting depressed, or having accidents, or whatever. But when we're in alignment, when we remember, when we honor, when we work with that flow as the flow that we are, then that's when we can, even when it hurts, even when it's challenging, even when they're 35-pound weights that I think are gonna pull me down, we can still pick them up. We can still do the heavy lifting, because when we do the heavy lifting, we stretch, pull, tear ourselves out of our current comfort zones, and then open up to more expansive ways of living. So my question to you is, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? And what changes are you willing to make if you're seeing something that isn't in keeping with what you want to see? As always, the choice is up to you. Thank you, and so it is. All right, so now we break into groups of of about 4 and have some conscious conversation for a few minutes on whatever it is that is coming up for you. So just feel free to move your chairs. Some people from this side may need to merge with people on this side, and then we will be back in about 7 minutes. All right? And I'll ding the meditation bowl when it comes back. Thank you.
The card I pulled today. Okay.
So it's the first time you've been here? Yes.
There's like the thing is like, oh, talent.
Congratulations.
For skill is other
That's great. That's great. Wonderful. Yes, you did.
So knowing that there are infinite possibilities.
Yes.
And what could happen if
Back to the search. Yeah. There's parts of me I feel like the answers have been up and down. It's still keeping my focus through this, so it's interesting that's where I got to, because there was one essential package that was we actually had the same line, the same everything, but for some reason they left the other. And it's just like it felt like Maui and so and I lived there for 7 years, so Maui is very dear to my heart. So it will just be what's next? Yeah.
So not attached to like theory that is yes, but not like, I can see what's going here.
Yeah.
It's all about feeling and action. That is the reason why that's the laws and all the stuff that we know. But yes, there's a love of
Yes. And I have been very challenged to this whole process, right? I thought, oh, there it is, and then devastated the idea of war, right? But now it's, aiming to this whole audit process. It's just, it is, I'm not anxiously looking at my clock, and I'm actually, I was in the, concert, and then Sunday, it's kind of like, it was like, I didn't even think about it for so long, it's kind of like interesting. Yeah, so it's, yes, it's been an interesting process. But to feel this excited about it and create this space, that was for me, because at the other end, I'm like, okay, oh, well, I can sit here, I can read here, and it's like, this is like the hub of the place, that gives you, and I would hopefully do that. So if you that's still like, yeah, we'll do that, that's fine. How am I setting this up? So it's going to be interesting to see.
2-minute warning, 2-minute warning.
Right.
All right.
That's how I skip when you have to.
All right, so I'm going to ask people to stand up. Actually, no, sorry, wait. No, stay seated. We're going to show some appreciation and love. So whoever had something to do with today happening, whether it is volunteering, whether it is playing music, whether it is, I don't know, some kind of participant today, then please stand, those people. You're already standing, Kelby's standing, musicians, okay, fantastic. All right, so everybody else, let's let them know how much we love and appreciate them. We appreciate you, we love you, we're building mental muscle with you. Okay? If you are new here for the first time, please stand up. Everybody, this is Scott, and this is Zoe. All right, let's let them know how much we love and appreciate them. We appreciate you, we love you, we're building mental muscle with you. All right, now everybody else, and we're loving all of each other and ourselves up. We appreciate you, we love you, we're building mental muscle with you. Now find one person, look into their eyes and turn those we's into eyes and let them know. I appreciate you, I love you, I'm building mental muscle with you. All right, fantastic. All right, you can go ahead and sit down.
Building mental muscle for me.
All right, so with all that mental muscle building, we're moving on to tithing, which is a beautiful spiritual practice and essential spiritual practice because it is an opportunity to invest not only in the physical spiritual center that we're talking about, but in this spiritual center. When we tithe, when we offer whatever it is that we are available to offer, whether it is a nickel, whether it is $5, whether it is more, there is no amount that is too small or too large. When we offer something, we offer it out of love, knowing that it returns to us multiplied abundantly. So if you would like to give, there is a silver bowl on the table over there that we have some envelopes and some little sheets. If you want to do an e-transfer, just fill out the sheet with the information and put it into the thing. But if you have cash on you and you want to put it into the envelope, then you can feel free to use an envelope. The credit card terminal is not on the back table, sorry, but you can do an e-transfer to info@victoriatreecenter.org. And remember that center is spelled R-E. And however it is that you are deciding to give and invest in yourself, I invite you to place your hands on your heart and we'll declare this abundance affirmation together. In gratitude I give, in gratitude I receive. By joyously contributing to my spiritual center, I celebrate the infinite possibilities of living life lovingly, and so it is. And so I invite you to close your eyes or lower your gaze once again and just allowing that gratitude to appreciate. And as that gratitude appreciates, the love that each and every one of us is continues to amplify. Right here, right now, always out into the world. And so knowing that our offerings of love go forth to heal, multiply, prosper, and bless, I am so grateful to know that there is an overabundance of wealth, an overabundance of givingness, an overabundance of joy that is being offered right here, right now, and always, as together we live life lovingly. So for everything that is here, for everything that is on its way, I say thank you, thank you, thank you, feeling and enjoying the blessings, and so it is. All right, announcements. Sundays, celebrate, 10:30. We're back here this coming Sunday at 10:30 a.m. for another Celebrate Sunday. Friendship Sunday is the second Sunday of the month now, and we have Kelby with us on Sundays at Friendship Sunday. Maybe Peter, but if not, we'll have another super stellar bass player. And the last one we did, we had a full house. We had over 40 people. It's an opportunity to bring a friend, bring someone that you love, and show them what you love and appreciate about BTC. And having a band here on Sunday is it's so much fun. We do a potluck lunch, And this particular Friendship Sunday, we then also have the Spiritual Perspectives that is being co-hosted by VTC and the Victorian Multi-Faith Society. And our hot topic that's up for discussion is social media. 90 breathwork. Super success, this last one, really impactful for everyone who was here. We had a full house, and it is now happening on third Saturdays of the month. So the next one is happening Saturday, August 17th. As usual, limited spots available, so please let me know if you're interested and we can get you registered. Healing Circle happening every third Sunday of the month, so Sunday, August 18th, 12:15, right here after Celebrate Sunday. We get together in a circle, whoever it is that is here, and we focus our attention on whoever it is that is requesting prayer. You don't have to be an expert, because it really is about intention and focus and just knowing the greatest and highest for everyone who is asking for prayer. Every healing circle we've had so far has been so impactful and so powerful. If you are looking to be more involved with VTC, if you are looking to showcase your skills and talent, which we would love to champion, then please let me know, or if there's another board member here, that's not the case tonight, you can let them know. We would love your enthusiasm and support. And prayer can be requested at any time by emailing prayer@victoriatruthcenter.org, or you can fill out a form and put it in the little butterfly box on the back table there, and the VTC prayer team will pray for you and or yours affirmatively daily. And then if you aren't already on the newsletter, please sign up for the newsletter on the back table there. It is the best way to know what is happening at VTC and when. So in the community, as I mentioned, Spiritual Perspectives, community conversations on hot topics happening Sunday, August 11th. There's an hour break between the potluck ending and then this, just so that we can set things up, because there will be members from other faith communities coming to talk about this really, really hot topic. All right, before we move on to our last song, any community announcements from anyone else? Anyone want to share anything?
Authentic Relating is this Sunday at 6:30.
Here?
No,
Okay.
at the beach.
At the beach.
At the beach.
Is it Willows Beach?
Yes.
Okay, and who's hosting? Bernice?
Bernice.
Okay, all right, Authentic Relating, 6:30, Sunday, Willows Beach. Bernice is hosting.
What
Thank
is,
you.
what is authentic
Okay, what's Authentic Relating?
relating?
It's just a form of a relational practice.
In game form, right? So it's later than the super intensive 2-day, 20-hour thing.
Okay.
All right, normally we have it here on first and third Sundays, but because it's summertime, it's happening out in the wild. She wants to call it, right? Okay, so Enjoy Every Second by Michael Franti and Spearhead. Let's all get on our feet.
Vancouver on the 20th.
20th of what?
August.
What?
Yes. Want to go?
Yes, I
Yes.
do. August
I know.
20th. It's August 20th.
It's a Tuesday.
Oh my God. Okay, all right. Changing.
August 20th.
What is what?
Oh, Michael Franti is coming to Vancouver.
Oh.
The composer of this tune and the band leader and head of Spearhead apparently coming to Vancouver.
Yeah.
And Liz is going.
Yeah.
All right, okay, I am moving this out of the way.
All right, everybody got your dancing shoes on? Your singing voices warmed up?